table, and then the lift chair isn't in this photo, but everything here was purchased off of AssistList. And simply put, medical equipment is just really expensive, and some are forced to sacrifice aspects of their quality of life and independence because their needs require equipment that's just unaffordable. That's where AssistList comes in to bridge the gap between quality of life and affordability. So I'm just gonna give you a quick overview of kind of like the beginning and the history of AssistList. So Kevin is a working occupational therapist. He recognized a missing link in the community. There were individuals living at risk without the equipment they needed, and family members who have acquired equipment after a loved one had passed away and wanted to find a new home. This missing connection between those two groups provided an opportunity to cultivate a network of support in the community. AssistList started as an idea in 2014 when Kevin decided that the gap needed to be filled. He enlisted the help of his friends who combined their skills to create AssistList.ca. AssistList went live in 2018 and has been helping members of the Greater Vancouver area find and sell home equipment. To date, we've had 32,000 users.
Thanks, Claire. So now that we've given you a brief history of how AssistList came to be, we're going to dive into what AssistList is. So AssistList is a free digital marketplace where users can buy and sell or donate home health medical equipment. This includes items such as hospital beds, overbed tables, and lift chairs, similar to one seen in Elsa's story. As a non-for-profit charity, AssistList aims to empower our community by providing a free resource to access affordable equipment. All of our features were created with our users in mind, and we're constantly updating our resource to meet the needs of our community. What sets AssistList apart from other online marketplaces is that AssistList was developed with input from occupational therapists and healthcare professionals to ensure our resource is safe and effective. Input from healthcare professionals also allows us to provide specific details and properties to the listed equipment. This provides people with insight on what they're purchasing, enabling them to provide and find the most appropriate items. Additionally, AssistList is simple in design and operation for all our users. We are built for our community, and we want our resource to be accessible to all. We also partner with organizations in our community to provide additional resources, such as exchange zones and educational opportunities. Finally, as a local organization, AssistList aims to be the end-to-end solution for our users, eventually becoming a hub for healthcare resources in BC. Oh, I went too far. So we're going to talk about a bit of who we are. As Claire mentioned earlier, AssistList went live in 2018. And from there, we have rapidly grown with help of our dedicated and passionate volunteer team. Our multidisciplinary team includes members of all ages and backgrounds who collectively work together to achieve a common goal. Together, our team has committed over 5,200 volunteer hours in the last year alone in an effort to improve and empower our neighbors and community. So now let's get into how AssistList works. AssistList aims to connect people with unused equipment, the sellers, with those in need of equipment, the buyers. So in the top row of this pictogram here, sellers list their items on AssistList and provide details that would be important to a buyer. Once the listing goes live, anyone can review the item and the seller will get an email from potential buyers. On the bottom, if you're a buyer, you can find and browse equipment that you're interested in, and buyer will initiate communication by emailing the seller through a website. If the equipment is suitable, an exchange can then be made. So we're going to switch gears a bit, and now that you know a general idea of how AssistList works and what it is, we're going to switch over to our site and give you guys a demo of how to navigate the site. We'll show you how to create an account, filter through the listings, create your own listing, and show off a few other features. After every section, we'll take a little pause to see if anyone has any questions. So please let us know if you have any concerns and we can take some time to answer those. So let's jump into it. So when you first go to AssistList.ca, you'll be met with our landing page here. And as you can see, there's a bunch of listings such as wheelchairs, walk-in bathtubs, bedside railings. And as you scroll down, there'll be more and more listings available. So if you're going to AssistList, that usually means you're looking to either sell something or to buy something. If you're looking to buy something, you'll notice that all of these listings have different tags down here. And what you can use with these tags is you can filter the listings to find the equipment that you need. So on the right panel here, there's something called filters. And there's 3 dropdowns available. The first dropdown is talking about the category of the equipment. So AssistList offers 6 different categories, which are bathroom safety, bedroom equipment, daily living aids, mobility, transfer aids, and vision aids. So let's take a look at the mobility tag here. So I click the mobility tag. Notice that the bottom 2 listings disappeared, but we still have the remaining wheelchair at the top. We can further refine all of these listings based off of our location. So I'm located in Vancouver right now. So I'm going to scroll down to Vancouver, and we will filter all of these listings by Vancouver. So all those previous listings have now disappeared and been replaced with mobility equipment specifically located in Vancouver. You can also sort by price. So right now it's sorted by when the listing was made. So the latest listing was August 1st, but you can also sort by price ascending and price descending. So let's take a look at this walker right here. The walker, when you click on the walker listing, you met with different information. So as you can see, it's located in Vancouver, updated August 1st. You have the title and the price. We also have a few images that will scroll through automatically. And scrolling down on the website, you will have a description and some key properties of the walker. So as I mentioned before, with the occupational therapist input, they've identified some important information that a buyer would want before buying a piece of equipment. So these include whether a seat is included, the height of the walker, and the number of wheels. Some other information also includes the condition of the equipment. So this walker has been used for less than a year, making it pretty good condition. And it also includes those tags we had mentioned previously. Does anyone have any questions so far? No? Okay. So say I was interested in buying this walker here. What I would do is I'd want to contact the seller. Now, if you can see kind of in this sentence here, you need to be logged in order to contact the seller. So this is kind of a safety thing, kind of a secure, make sure that any user that's being contacted is being contacted by someone that's reputable. So let's go ahead and create an account so that we can contact the seller. Okay, so the sign up tab here, what you'll need is an email and a password. The email is important as this is the email that will be available to other AssistList users. So for example, if you had a piece of equipment for sale and someone wants to contact you, any message that they send you will go to this email. On the other hand, if you want to contact the seller to buy a piece of equipment, they will receive your email. So we have an email, so let's log in. And so back at the landing page, and we will go back to that walker we saw. So we'll input our mobility and Vancouver location filters. And as we click this, you'll notice that now there's a text box located here. And if I were to type a message into this text box, something like that, and I were to send this message, the seller would receive an email with this message that I typed, as well as my email that my account is linked to. And from there, the seller can then email me and we can communicate back and forth via email to set up an exchange. Does anyone have any questions on that?
Yes. Where would you and the seller, or if I'm a buyer and I'm meeting a seller, potentially meet? Do you have an office space where we would meet, or how do we ensure our meeting? Because ensure our safety during the meeting, because I'm sure we've all experienced buying things on eBay and Amazon and things like that. And how do we ensure our safety meeting strangers, essentially?
That's an excellent question. So we'll actually touch on that a bit further on in the presentation, but kind of as a precursor, we have some partners which we have worked with, and we have these recommended exchange zones. which are kind of linked to our community partners to kind of provide a more open and safe meeting environment. But we'll touch on those a little later on in this.
I'm jumping the gun, sorry.
No worries at all. Anyways, we will go back to the landing page, and I'll touch on one more thing before handing it off to Claire. So the last thing I'm going to touch on is something called notifications. So say that the walker that we just saw didn't meet my requirements, but I'm still looking for a walker. What you can do is you can subscribe to notifications. And these notifications will notify you whenever there's a listing in the category and equipment type you select. So if I want to be notified of any new walker listings, I can set this mobility and walker notification here. And what will happen is if a walker listing is made on our site, you will receive an email telling you that there's a new listing. And that kind of gives you the first opportunity to review that listing. I kind of want to emphasize that you'll only receive emails for the categories and equipment you choose. So if I was interested in both walkers and, for example, wheelchairs, I'd have to create 2 different subscriptions. Additionally, you won't receive any unsolicited emails, as you'll only receive emails related to those listings. Quick pause if there's any questions about that. All right.
Great. I will take over here. Oh, here we go. All right. So now we have just learned how to potentially buy equipment. So I'm going to kind of go over how you would go about like selling the equipment. So I'm just assuming we already have an account now that we learned to make before, and you see this big button right here called create a listing. So as of right now, I don't have any listings personally to put on this website. So I have a picture from Google that I'm using. So I'm just going to kind of make a fake listing and then kind of take you through this. So I'm going to start. I have a bed right now, a hospital bed that I'm going to try and sell. And so we start with these equipment categories. So bathroom safety, bedroom equipment, you can kind of choose the category that it goes underneath. And we have bedroom equipment, so that's kind of the category I'm looking for. So I'm going to click on this one. Underneath, we have some additional categories, so subcategories with these question marks next to it. So I can click on one of them, and it kind of describes what is in that category, and it's like describes what that category is. So if you're going through and you don't seem to find a category that works for the thing that you're trying to sell, either we're not taking that item at this time, or our website can't offer a sale through that, or maybe we're just missing something. You can send us an email at support. I'll show you exactly where to contact us. And then we can help you out with that one, let you know whether or not you can sell it and where exactly it should be put. So I have a hospital bed. I'm going to go and click on hospital bed here. So this is where I'm going to put the image for my hospital bed. So you can take a nice, pretty picture in a well-lit area and just highlighting the spaces that it could have a little bit of scuffs on it, or if there's any imperfections. Something else I want to point out here is this 15 people are subscribed to notifications. Andrew talked about notifications, and so these are like kind of like talking about the demand of the item. So right now 15 people are looking for a hospital bed on AssistList, and so obviously that's a little bit higher demand than, like, let's say 2 people, and so that number can range from anywhere. So I know kind of like the popularity of this item that I'm trying to sell. Alrighty, so I'm gonna drag and I'm gonna drop my image here from my desktop. As you can see, here's my little hospital bed that I have. You can rotate the image, so if it's not correctly rotated. And this is my cover image, so it's the image that's going to land on that landing page. You can add additional images, and you can just set one as the cover image. All right, so I've got my image, and I'm going to go to the next step. So I'm going to make a listing title. So this is going to come up at the top. So I'm just going to say hospital bed. You can name the make and the model if you'd like, just to be more specific. For the price, let's say I bought this bed for like $5,000 and I'm willing to let it go for $1,000. So I'm just going to put 1,000 in here. You can also choose the option to make it free. So this little button here, if you toggle it, it'll say free and the listing will come up as free. All right, keep it at $1,000. For condition, so you can select how many years it's been used. For this bed, I'm going to say less than a year. For the location, I'm currently going to be located in Vancouver. We're located in Vancouver, but you can choose a variety of locations, as you can see. And my next step here. So this is the categories that the OTs have created for us, just kind of like to help narrow down search. So I'm going to say my bed is electric. My size is a double. I do not have bed rails, and it's not applicable because I don't have any bed rails. All right, and then you're going to add a description. So this description can kind of be like whatever you think is pertinent information. I have a description already written up right here. Sorry, I have a little grammar thing going on. So I'm saying it's a new electrical bed, mattress included, used only for a month by one person. It's used for in-home care and it's adjustable. And then I'm mentioning to you like that it's cleaned and it's a pet and smoke-free environment. So if that's something that you really care about, that's what I think my buyers might care about. So I'm just going to add that in there. Then I'm going to go to my next step. So this is a preview of my listing. You can see my location, the hospital bed, the name, the price, the picture. If you scroll down here, the description and the properties, and you can see the condition as well. And those are my categories here. So if I were to actually be selling this piece of equipment, I would click submit listing. And then a listing would go live, and I could wait for that email that I signed up with to have people contact me about this bed. So I'm going to go back here to AssistList, and I'm just going to kind of go over the last couple things on the website. If anyone has any questions right now about selling.
Of course, I have a question.
Grant.
Yes.
Go for it.
Is there kind of a price kind of range that you guys want to keep these items in? Do you have like kind of restrictions on it, or does the seller themselves pick the price?
It's kind of like up to the seller, obviously, and kind of how much return you want to get on it. Obviously, the more used your item is, we would suggest to put it like a little bit of a lower price than what you bought it for, because obviously these equipment is all used. If something is new and you really want to get it like for about the same price. If you're really wanting to like liquidate it as well, like have it just get rid of it as fast as you can, putting it at a lower price or putting it for free is kind of your best option. It's just kind of like up to you, and there's like little strategies, but that's like the same as any other like selling site you could possibly use, like to get rid of it faster or to get more of your money back, if that makes sense.
It does. Would I be able to contact like the support services and say, what would you recommend I sell it for, or that's a fair price? Could I actually contact you guys?
Yeah, if you have a question, you're a little bit concerned, we can try our best to help you out. Obviously, none of us are like super experts. Obviously, we work with AssistList, so we have some knowledge on that, and we can't fully give you like a consultation or anything. But if you're really concerned about the price that you're selling it for, you can always shoot us an email and we can try our best to help you.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. All right, so the last couple of features we have on our website here. In this resources tab on the top, all of our little tabs are on the top. I'm going to click on resources, and down here we have our FAQs, frequently asked questions. So we have different sections that could be pertinent to information, protecting yourself, COVID-19 safety precautions, selling and donating equipment, buying equipment. And then we have 3 little boxes on top here. So how AssistList works, at this bottom here, you can see another step-by-step video on how to use the website if you need another refresher after this little course. And if you go back to resources, this is kind of what Andrew was talking about before. We have these community exchange zones. So these are our really generous partners offering their mostly community center type buildings for exchanges to occur, and they're just kind of like in an open and accessible area, and they're all scattered around Vancouver. So those are really useful as exchange points. So we have 4 on here, and you can just take a look. You can also give them phone calls if you have any questions. We can go back here. And then additional services, we are partnered with Wheelchair Works, so you can get a discount on your equipment assessment. So if you mention our name, so that's there as well. And then if you're looking for an OT to give you kind of any kind of equipment recommendations, because we can't necessarily do that, here's the find an occupational therapist through the CAOT. All right, so we can also look at our partners. So we have a ton of really generous partners that provide us with a bunch of different things that help us a lot: funding, nonprofits, and corporate. You can see there if you're interested in who we're partnering with right now. And then under our About tab, you can kind of see like about us, our story, kind of what we've gone over in this presentation, as well as our team. You can see all of our volunteers' names are in these. If you scroll down here, all of them will be underneath here, and you can check out our pictures and our descriptions as well. And then here's a little contact us form. So we don't have a physical office, so we don't have a phone number, but we do have a support email that's checked really regularly. Because we're volunteer run, obviously we're trying our best to check it as fast as we can. So yeah, there's a little form here, and you put your name, your email address, and then the message you want to send us. And the last thing we have is to make a donation. So if you're interested in making a monetary donation, this page is kind of where you're wanting to go. This is kind of an explanation of what our money donations are going to go to and why we would need them. And here's the option for you to make a donation if that's what you are interested in. Cool. Any questions for the end of that like quick website demo? And we'll go back into the presentation, just kind of go over safety. Grand. All right, let's get back into here. Perfect. Alrighty. So naturally, with any online service and website, there are going to be some dangers, and AssistList tries to put our user safety first and become our first priority. So I'm going to give you kind of four of my like top tips in staying safe with any kind of buy sell website. So we recommend only using your email address and providing no more personal information. And as I mentioned in the demo, we have a couple of community exchange zones that are provided by our amazing partners in the community. We recommend using these locations. They're high trafficked, and selecting meeting times during the day. It's also always good to let someone know where you're going and when you expect to be back, just for ultimate safety. To exchange, cash is king, and it's the safest exchange method. You can also use third-party services to do online exchanges like PayPal, but we caution against using anything other than cash. Below here, you can kind of see the services we caution you to avoid, like Google Wallet, MoneyGram, and Western Union. And we are a local nonprofit, so no need to travel outside of the Lower Mainland or ship your items. It's just pick up, drop off items in your local area. Cool. So at AssistList, we pride ourselves in education. We want to make sure that everyone is aware of the risks that come with using any internet site and putting your email out on the internet anywhere. The possibility of a scam kind of exists no matter what site you're using. So we're going to kind of explain to you how to identify a scam. You're going to want to be wary of any email asking you to confirm your account or change your password that was not requested. And asking for any paid services on free websites, such as protection programs, is a red flag. AssistList will never, ever ask for your credit card number. Any emails mentioning checks or mover services are also pretty suspicious. If you do receive one of these emails, forward the email to a support at AssistList, and we will investigate and then delete that email right away. All of the information on user safety, as well as scams and how to protect yourself, can be found under the FAQ on our website. And finally, we just kind of want to give a huge thank you to our amazing partners. Our partners provide us with funds, outreach opportunities, and designated exchange zones, as well as other related services for our users. And they really help us be able to connect with the community and provide our services in the Lower Mainland. And that is all. If you guys have any questions, we can answer them now. You can also send us an email, info@assistlist.ca, if you think of any other questions after this presentation. We're totally able to help you out with anything you may need. Great.